I
Yeah.
know that we're about 10% less than the big box companies out there, yet we provide about 100% more in services.
Welcome, Genesis Nation. I am excited to bring with you Mr. Tony Seymour with Chiro Website Pro. And this is an important discussion because websites are our sales tools, right? So if they're not working well and in line with our thoughts, philosophy, and approach, they're not going to sell or pre-frame patients to ramp well into our practice. So, Tony, can you share with me a little bit about what separates Chiro Website Pro? Well, first of all, how'd you get into just chiropractic work?
First of all, Dr. Brian, appreciate you having me on these sort of things. It was great meeting you down in Atlanta it was Roberto Monaco event down there at the W Atlanta Hotel, my man. So, Roberto always brings the best of the best, and
Yeah,
yeah,
he's amazing.
so yeah, definitely appreciate you, Dr. Brian. So yeah, I've been in the chiropractic, they call it the chiropractic community for I guess 20 years now,
Wow.
um, just over 20 years. And done a lot of marketing, teach a lot of marketing classes for different consultant companies. As a matter of fact, I got a big one for Joe Borio's event coming up here in November.
Okay.
So Joe's asked me to fly down there and teach some classes for him. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background. I've been around for about 20 years, marketing practices, these sort of things. And, I've got a website, a website specialist, and I only do chiropractic websites, man.
So
That's
your training in marketing was like where was that from? Because obviously you've learned a lot over the last 20 years, but you had to know something to get in the door initially, right? What was your background?
Yeah. I was in the Air Force for a long period of time, and I was taking, college classes, these sort of things, and some of those are on marketing. But then when I was getting ready to get out of the Air Force, I was talking to a management company, and they said, "Hey, rather than me," because I was on my way, Dr. Brian, to go to Palmer to become a chiropractor, and then when
Nice.
they pulled me aside, they said, "Hey, we've seen some of your things. We know what you can do. Are you interested? Instead of becoming a chiropractor, would you be interested in coaching chiropractors on marketing and all of these sort of things?" And so I said, for sure. So
Wow.
they kind of took me under their wing, if you will. And I just from day one back in, I guess that was late 2002, um,
Wow.
just been just over 20 years, and basically framed up my marketing background from that point. So,
Awesome. And
yeah.
your marketing now for chiropractors focuses solely on creating websites.
Yes.
And so I guess search engine optimization plays a role, SEO,
Yes, sir.
as well as like the user experience, user interface, what the website looks like. Is it a sales tool? What kind of elements are you implementing into websites along those lines to help generate new patients?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, I think you're kind of, you alluded to it when you're, doing the intro as well. Um, like you talked about, for me with websites, there's three things. Number one, like you had mentioned just a few moments ago, your message.
Yeah.
One chiropractor's message is going to be different from another chiropractor's message. And what happens is, if I can say it this way, when people do cookie cutter chiropractic websites, if you will,
Yeah.
they're they go a mile wide and only an inch deep
I
as
like
far
that.
as their message, if you will. So
Yeah,
just
it's the same. Well, because you can see multiple practices and across the country having the same exact canned site. Yeah.
exactly. Not only that, the new patients, that's not where they're at, so to speak,
Yeah.
a mile wide, inch deep. So we take your message and we go a mile, an inch wide and a
A
mile deep.
mile deep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And just so number one would be your message. Is we do an interview process, takes about 20 minutes with the doctor, sometimes the entire team in the office, and do about a 20 to 30-minute interview. Because again, I've been doing it for 20 years. I
Yeah.
make them draw out the DNA, let's call it, of their message. And number one is the message. Number two, like you'd referred to, is the design. If we're going to present for chiropractors who present, not everybody does, going to present, let's say, a three, four, $5,000 care plan but yet they got a $20 website
Yeah.
design.
Yeah. It's got to match. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's not congruent. So number one is the message. Number two is the design. We live in a visual culture. We've got
Yeah.
to having cookie cutter template pictures and these sort of things on a website and expecting that to work either visually or on the SEO end, just not a thing. So number one, the message. Number two, the design, and like you referred to, number three is the traffic. The traffic really breaks down into two elements. Number one is your organic traffic, all the back end stuff on the website people don't see, all the coding
Yep.
um, that I do on the back end of a website. Number one is the organic, and number two is obviously Google Ads and the paid traffic. Having
Okay.
both of those aligned is how you go from zero to hero quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I love
So,
it. And
yep.
and do you have I would say tools integrated in the website to generate more reviews, or is that happening from other resources? Because like Genesis per se, like I know we integrate with a lot of different companies that provide that opportunity for text and emails for reviews. But do you actually embed that in the website as well and have the opportunity for people to leave a review?
Yeah, if there's a company like for example, Genesis Software, another company that has the that tool, so to speak, yes, I would take those codes and embed that into the website, create a landing page, if you will, that has the flow to get the patient or to entice the patient, if you will, to fill out the review, which again, that ramps up the rankings as well. So yeah,
Always.
for
Now,
sure.
I'm always curious about search engine optimization. I kind of geek out about it a little bit. And so is that, my understanding of SEO is code, content, and backlinks, right? So you're coding, obviously, what you said. Your content
Yeah.
has to be relevant and geo-targeted to the right areas that you're looking to attract patients to. And then backlinks. So is that something that you're involved with and helping offices get backlinks, or can you speak to that as an effective means to increase SEO?
Yes. Yeah, the code is where the starting process for me is that's where that's critical. Having the code on the backside. Number two, as far as the content goes, yes, that's kind of the nice part. A lot of web companies will ask the docs, people, the physicians to provide code content. And I was like, content that will code, which to me kind of seems backwards. I
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
this client talking to this onboarded another new client the other day, and these sort of things, and they said that's the nice part. I was like, as much as you wouldn't want me adjusting your hat list, Dr. Brian, is as
Yeah.
much as I wouldn't want to have
Coding.
a
I'm not, yeah.
chiropractor content
Keep,
that's going to do the coding. It's just not
right.
going to be. So yeah, I would agree to that. That code content and then backlinks, yes. Backlinks is yeah, as you well, I'm sure you well know, is a massive topic. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll work with backlinks. It's just that's just a big topic. So yeah,
Yeah. And do you find, like, are you outsourcing companies to help get backlinks? Or are you teaching chiropractors to go get backlinks? Or is that, through, I would say,
do
like, all
do
the
all
above?
do all
Okay.
the above. You're gonna
Yeah.
I've seen everything from people being a part of their weekly leads group where they have a specialist grabbing local backlinks, all stuff. That's great. Yeah, we can implement that. That's no problem whatsoever. AI is getting more into backlinks now, which is super. Just I was on a
Yeah.
conference yesterday. That could be super, super exciting. We'll see where that goes. But then, yeah, we've got some backlink software that I use personally that I integrate with all of our websites. So,
Awesome. Great. So, you're designing the site, getting it ready for sales capabilities, obviously through SEO and user interface, user experience. So what does the process look like? Besides, so I know you said there's like a 20 to 30-minute discovery call, so to speak. What's the next steps if someone wanted to work with you and get a website designed or redesigned?
well, no, thank you for the question. There's really, for me, it's a three-step process. Number one, when somebody's interested, wants to just at least find out, is there anything we can do to remove the subluxation so we can, market their website in front of the people who want, need, and can afford their care. They would,
Yeah.
they would schedule a discovery call, and they can do that on my website. It's pretty easy to do. You click on it, schedule a call, easy to do. And number two, that's where the 20 to 30-minute interview comes in. I'll find out, number one, are we a good fit?
Yeah.
A lot of times we call different companies, and Dr. Brian, you've been around a long time. You've got a
Yeah.
great reputation in the chiropractic community and
Thank
these
you.
sort of things, for sure. I mean, absolutely, 100% for sure. So, um, but during that interview, so to speak, I'll find out if we're a good fit, because what I don't want to do is try to sit there and sell, sell, sell. That's not my game. That's not my number. That's not my game. If we're a great fit, if you want to, really get your message out there in an organic, in an authentic way, that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
And obviously, price is a part of that. And as a business owner, I've done my research. I
Yeah.
know that we're about 10% less than the big box companies out there. Yet we provide about 100% more in services. So
Yeah.
in
So
other
you're
words,
over delivering and you get the customization of the site itself.
for me, when I launched this company, Dr. Brian, and there was one promise I had made myself for sure, and that I would not violate, and that would be I would always under promise and over service. Because for the
Awesome.
longest time, and half of my family are chiropractors, how do you say it? That all kinds of marketing companies are throwing all kinds of different gimmicks, if you will, at chiropractors. They throw out the
Yes.
gimmick, the next thing you know, there's an upsell or whatever else the case
Always.
may be. So, and that's one of the things that I also, knew that I wanted to do is under promise and over service, and then I'll never upcharge somebody. There's no upcharge or side sales with me. That's not my thing. I'll have guys and gals, my clients call me all the time. Hey Tony, I just added decompression to my office. Do you mind, creating decompression wing of my website? Yeah, no problem. Done. Well, how much is that going to cost me? There is no cost to that. You're a member in, the chiropractic website family, let's call it. We do that. So one, back to your question, Dr. Ryan, how do people do that? One, they set up a call. Number two, we do an interview, find out if we're a good fit, and it's not some sort of glamorized sales call. No, I'm authentic. I'm here to, make a difference for the chiropractic community. And then three, after the interview, Dr. Brian, and this is the part that I think most people appreciate, I just go to work. I
Yeah.
request
Heads down.
pictures and videos, whatever, but then I just go to work. I'm not going to sit there and drive a chiropractor crazy. Y'all are busy enough. The
Yeah.
chiropractors out there, they're busy enough trying to manage, their team, manage their clinic, patient compliance, and all that sort of stuff. I'll take care of it. And then we launch it, we review it, and I guess my last thing, my third thing is the website's not done until the doc and the team are 100% happy, 100% happy across the board, and then
Great.
after we'll make changes, revisions, or as you mentioned, updates with backlinks as we go.
So so with like working with you, it's more once you do the initial work, then you do like a monthly membership, so to speak, or if it's something like that. Because let's say I wanted to add a new video or a new feature or a new page, that's not an additional upcharge. It's part of the membership that you provide. Is that correct?
Exactly, it's ongoing
Okay.
hosting SEO for sure.
Great.
It would, it
Great.
would, it would be very similar to buying a brand new car and then not putting gas in it. You
Yeah.
would,
Yeah.
you're
You're
not
gonna
gonna.
so you're gonna build the Ferrari and put the premium gas and help us run it. So that's awesome, Tony. So we'll put the everything down below in the show notes and how to reach you, but it's chirowebsitepro.com. The reason I love your approach mostly is because you have chiropractic in your blood and you understand what we're going through, the messaging, and then also, the philosophy underneath. So I appreciate you, digging in the trenches for 20 years and helping us get more patients and more butts in our seats. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brian. Again, it was an honor and a pleasure meeting you down in Atlanta
Yeah,
at Roberto's event, and then hopefully we'll be able to meet up at another Roberto's event. That's
of
the thing.
course. Yeah.
Classes, man, is always sharpening our sword and taking it to the
Yeah.
next
Amen.
level.
Amen to that. All right, Tony. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. Brian.